Hey yo, so I've got lots of energy today, so I'm gonna also do a self-care card pull, or however many cards come out, because it might be that we need to implement, a bit more self-care, or it might be something that we implement over the next week or so, different days, different self-care routines, different stuff that helps bring you back to life. So let's split the deck and see if there's an energy that we need to kind of take into account as we pull the actual cards. So we have got the Nine of Cups. That's very much about you and me, us internally. So it's about self-love and good emotional flow, and just internal happiness, love, joy kind of thing. And I'll keep that in mind so that when I do get the self-care tips out of the book, that we can have a look at that one too. All right. I have another video uploading right now. And just so you know, we're using the Neo Tarot. Interesting, Nine of Cups was just in that split too, so I'm wondering if that's going to be the energy of today. Bit of a wish fulfillment type of personal joy. But we shall see. We shall see what the healed ancestors and universal energy says about what the collective needs. Seven of Cups, which is funny because it came out in the first split. And what's this one? The Page of Pentacles. So we've got two lots of energy that have come out. We've got some water energy and some earth energy. Seven of Cups is traditionally a choice type of card. You have all these options available to you, and it's about using your discernment to work out what is most in line with you and your soul growth, your personal growth that benefits the collective, right? Well, that's how I see it. Because as you can see, like each cup contains something different. But this is coming to me right now. The perspective in which we see the contents of the cups matters as well, right? So we see the snake in one of the cups, and many people would look at that and go, oh, I don't want to fucking touch that cup because snakes bite. Snakes are bad. But for me, snakes are really representative of transformation, change, shedding your old skin, and finding a skin that fits you better. But they do bite, all right? Whereas someone with allergies might look at the one that's got plants in it and go, I don't want that. I want to sneeze. And then there's one with like a shadowy looking being, and it's like, well, shadows are scary, but shadows are also great teachers. So I think, it's important to not just look at the options in front of you, but what kind of transformation they can bring you, on a personal level, because Nine of Cups is the underlying energy of this reading. So and then we've got the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles is you're kind of like a beginner. It's the beginner of the court cards, and it's, for me, the place where we start to bring ideas and things into, especially with Pentacles, into a material sense, like ground it into our material world. And Pentacles are our slow and steady energy, but really solid and reliable energy. So that's just my initial takes. Sun is on the bottom, which is, you know, the Sun is the happiest card in the deck, but it can also represent clarity because it shines light on things. It can represent life because it gives life, much like the Empress energy, but in masculine form, you know, that so much life on Earth requires the energy that the Sun emits. Okay. Let's look and see what the self-care stuff is for each of these. Okay, there's the Page of Pentacles. Let's find the Cups. Hang on. The self-care for the Seven of Cups is: mudras are gentle, meditative placements of your hands and fingers. They're used in Hindu and Buddhist meditation and are said to help with healing and emotional well-being. The Shuni mudra is for patience and understanding. Touch your middle finger to your thumb and apply light pressure. Keep your other fingers extended but relaxed. Practice holding for 10 minutes per day and try remaining in the present. All right, so that's one thing you can do. There's an affirmation that comes with this card of: I stay true to my heart by carefully distinguishing what matters from what doesn't, which is what I was saying, you know, like your perspective on what is in those cups or the options that you're presented with is going to either feed you or hurt you, right? So and the Page of Pentacles. This one is suggesting that we all go and source some kind of free or cheap online course that is new to us, that teaches us something different outside of our scope of knowledge. It can be related to career prospects, but it doesn't have to be. But Pentacles often represent like the material world, so like jobs and money and possessions and things like that. Says to feel into that curious, inspired state of mind and allow yourself to imagine all the ways in which your new course is going to be put to use. It kind of reminds me of that energy of never stop being the student, even when you're the teacher, kind of thing. The affirmation that goes with that is: My journey has just begun, but I know exactly what I want. And 9 of Cups, that's right. And then the underlying energy, the self-care for the underlying energy for the read today is research the KonMari method. It's a system of tidying up, creating by Marie Kondo. I remember when this went viral years ago and I never bought into it. Do I even like this advice? I don't know. Let's keep reading. In which you look at every item you own and say, does this spark joy? If not, get rid of it or donate it. Buy or borrow her books from the library and try it. Look, I don't really think you need someone's book to be able to look at what you have in your life, whether it's a material possession, emotional coping mechanisms, psychological defenses, whatever it is. Like, I think we don't need her book to be able to know what gives us joy and what gives us grief, anxiety. But many of us don't live alone either. So what might spark joy for me and what might not spark joy for me might be different for the 4 young adults that I live with, right? But I think the main takeaway point from this self-care suggestion is that society has moved in a way that makes us think we need all of this stuff. But the reality is that we actually don't need much in order to be happy. But the way that society has been set up and the psychological warfare of these systems has us comparing ourselves to everybody else and what we have and what they have and what we don't have that they have. And but the things that we really need, housing, food, healthcare, those kinds of things, in so many ways, they've also been about keeping up with the Joneses in a lot of ways. You know, we have the ideas of private health insurance and, you know, I look around at all the people that overextend themselves financially with debt to buy a house only to never really be able to enjoy that house because they're never in it because they're always at work, and if they're not at work they're asleep, you know. Like, I just think capitalism has us chasing things that we don't even get to enjoy because capitalism has us so busy being capitalists, you know. Anyway, that's my little anti-capitalist rant for today, and that's your self-care for today. I hope you have a lovely Monday.